And we are back. Welcome back to Division 2 here at the 70 Star League. We've got a fresh new race with two fresh new faces. It's Pete versus m0m0. And finally, we're getting a little bit of the USA versus Germany back again here. Pete, of course, repping North America, and m0m0 here from Germany. I am Shantastic, once again joined by Electric. How's it going?
It's going great. That last race was a little bit of a spaghetti fest, not going to lie, but I'm looking forward to a really nice one here. Both these guys are really, really strong players in Div 2. As we can see here, Pete and m0m0 side by side in the standings. So whoever wins this race is going to pass up their opponent and also pass up Drogi with those 60 points at least. So this could be a pretty nice one. And, you know, if either of these guys ends up winning in a blowout, they could be all the way up in 4th place with this win. So this will definitely be one to watch. These will be some pretty close competitors based on these point standings.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to how close like that entire league is up until like even the 9th or 10th place spot. Quite frankly, it seems like every single place is not safe to the tune of a single performance, because that 90-point difference is everything, and it's so cool to see that everyone is so close to each other. Everyone's performing at a similar level, and as of today, there are 0 undefeated players in this league, so everyone has the chance to go down or climb back up.
Yep. And we're getting started now. m0m0 going to be slightly ahead in this intro due to using the Japanese version, but of course, later on, he'll fall 2 to 3 seconds behind. After I mentioned the 3-second difference, some people in chat came in and said, no, that's not right either. So we're just going to say 2, 2, 3. It's one of those two. It's in that range. And we can also see m0m0 repping that fantastically shaped German water bottle slightly in frame. And here we go. Let's see how these Lakitu skips go. m0m0 opting for the right side kick, and same with Pete. m0m0, though, misses the skip. Pete, right on the edge of that bridge, gets it. Very nice. So m0m0 already losing the lead that he gained from that quick intro, as we're now going into bomb clip. Let's see how this goes from Pete. Typically at this level, this is a very consistent trick for these players, but as we saw in Saxtel's example last race, Pete repeating Saxtel's unfortunate mistake, going for the interesting bomb respawn movement. Most of the time you just see people go to the stone wall for a wall kick, but yeah, good on the second try, and m0m0 going to go ahead and take the lead right out of BOB. Already a quick lead change and then back to its original status within the first start of the game.
Yeah, missing bomb clip does lose just a little bit more time than that Lakitu skip, and so definitely in that first mini split when everything seems to go wrong. Very interesting, very back and forth.
And so now we're going into the slide. Get those guesses out in chat. Last guesses of the day. I'm going to go, or second to last rather, 12-7, 12-8.
I'm going to go ahead and say double 12-7.
Commentator doubling down on Pete's 12-7. Let's see a 12-9 for m0m0, just slightly off script, but Pete with a 12-7 pulling through.
Just enough for both of us to be wrong. It's honestly, like, at this point, I feel like it's just bad RNG.
I could definitely see that.
But quite literally, because we are basically flipping coins. It's real life RNG, which I guess is not really RNG, but actual literal chance.
It's universe number generator.
True. Fun fact, random number generators, it's impossible to actually be totally random. They are not chance operations. They're just so incredibly algorithmic that they are effectively chance operations to all human understanding.
Yeah, and oh, Pete misses Alice while m0m0 does get it first try. Another really interesting element of that is a lot of like seemingly random patterns.
Oh, gets a fourth frame wall kick
with a fail. A lot of seemingly random patterns in nature aren't actually truly random, and so in some cases, to make things feel random, there are certain distributions that get used in random number generation. So even though every outcome won't be equally as likely, it'll actually feel more random. For instance, like one example is when iTunes first introduced the shuffle function. A lot of people didn't like how numerous songs from the same artist could be played after each other because it was a truly random function at the time. So Apple ended up going back in and weighting the function so that that wouldn't happen as often or at all in many cases. Nice first try class from m0m0. Pete with the miss. Pete just cannot get these tricks first try right now for some reason. May not be quite warmed up or something. And so we see the wild blue sink, but Pete already a full star behind.
True. m0m0 absolutely taking that advantage as commentators getting into a little bit of chaos theory. Seems like we'll be escalating the conversation to discussions of deterministic philosophy. Might not be quite qualified for that conversation, at least speaking for myself, but maybe. We'll see where it goes. Pete taking this cannonless attempt once more, going for that sock folder. Not sure why he would go for a slower, more difficult cannonless strat. Missing it.
Oh.
Gonna have to back it up.
Doesn't have a good backup.
Yeah, it doesn't have a good backup. Myself, I just go for 100 coin, honestly.
Yeah, now m0m0 does get a very, very nice half cycle movement here. Has a lot of time to spare. Very, very clean stuff here.
Yes, indeed. Very interesting to hear about like the different ways that people design their RNG. Myself in my field, I am a composer, and we talk. Oh no, Pete actually slides a little down, misses that, and he's going to be missing some cycle.
Yeah, let's see if he's able to pick up any sort of fast movement here, or if he's going to have to wait a long time for this platform to come back around. TGC, that's actually Cloudflare's base.
Oh no, almost grabbing that star.
Yeah, that was dangerously close. He's just going to go ahead and grab this whole ring of coins. Doesn't have to wait too long for this platform on this late cycle, at least.
Indeed. Very foolish decision by commentator to try and talk about deep conversations in the middle of Womp's Fortress, where pretty much all of the spaghetti spills that is going to spill for the first beginning of the...
Yeah, we'll just hold the RNG discussion for DDD.
True. Any brewers in chat, please jump out with that.
Yash Brown, that's actually the way that I've been told that it's said. I could be completely wrong with that.
I always thought it was m0m0.
See, like, the way that they'll type it whenever people type m0m0 star get is exactly like that, M-U-R-M-O. So I guess I just figured it was some sort of idiosyncrasy with like the German kind of being like pronounced in English, but I could certainly be wrong with that.
Yeah, I figured m0m0 was just kind of a meme, kind of like how everyone calls Stivity Bobo, they call him Stove instead of Stiv.
Fair. I wish that like all usernames were by default in phonetic spelling, because that would solve a lot of these issues.
Honestly, I wish that all usernames had completely nonsensical pronunciations and that the world just reduced to absurdity as a result. But like I said, I'm an avant-garde artist, so I generally dislike order.
Yeah, just start calling me E-League Trike.
Yeah, no, actually, your name's a perfect example of that, because I'm not sure if you're 303 Trek or if you're electric, but I figured just go with the flow.
And we've been so caught up in this discussion of names and how to pronounce them that we missed the guess on m0m0's slide, but don't worry, we've got one more slide to guess today. Let's see all those guesses in chat. This is your last opportunity.
So bad at guessing.
I mean, yeah, fair. It's probably a good thing we didn't have to guess. We still retain some credibility. Now, we got Pete's 12-7 right first try. I'm going to go ahead and say Pete is going to get a 12-8 this time. What about you?
I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a 12-7.
Doubling back down yet again. Yeah. Commentator should not go to blackjack tournament night. And a 12-8 from Pete. Commentator with the double Pete guess. Today's Nostradamus predictions only extend to Pete for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. Well, as the saying goes, better to be silent and have chat think you'll guess the wrong time than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yep. And so m0m0 starting out in Dark World, got the nice switch press. Let's see if he can carry this momentum through the rest of the Shig cycle attempt as Pete finishes up his flying.
And m0m0 getting some clean movement here. Looks like he's headed toward that Shig. Wow, that is a crazy angle on that, and he's doing the budget Shig over.
And
Pog Shig over the Pog Shig.
Very clean movement from m0m0 throughout this Dark World. Not giving Pete a lot of room to save time at all.
Yes, indeed. Very, very clean. And he's gonna hop over and grab that star.
So going into his Bowser throw as Pete starts out the course here, misses the switch press. Has to double back to get it, and unfortunately long jumping a little bit too late, so Mario's feet get caught on that next platform.
Oh, gets the ledge grab. Gonna have a bit of a hard time probably gonna have to go for budget Shig here as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this will probably end up being a normal cycle. Yeah, normal cycle is a definite here. At least the cheese block is at a decent point for Pop Shig movement.
Oh, yeah, looks like he's got the Pop Shig though.
The late Shig cycle there.
Be late.
And so now m0m0 heading in for Sky Jump now. Pete gets a ledge grab on the staircase. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but m0m0 gonna be headed into the skybox. That's not the skybox, m0m0. That's just the wing cap. Looks like.
Let's see how this slope jump goes.
Whew. I don't know why I'm moving a few. Pete, meanwhile, landing that Bowser throw.
Okay, Drogi, we'll wait for you to get back.
All right.
Stop the race.
Just gonna get our. Yeah. I think Restreamer just gonna quickly pause the VOD from this race.
So now m0m0 moving into CCM as Pete goes into BOB. Let's hope he has some better luck with Sky Jump than he did for Bomb Clip, because this will be a lot of time lost should he miss it.
This is true, and m0m0 going for that penguin before 100 coin star, demonstrating to us all that he is indeed a human being. Commentator referencing a joke from earlier in the day's games that is considered sophisticated.
The callbacks here.
And Pete picking up that skybox nice and clean.
Alright, so now m0m0's going to be going in for slide skip. Looks like he's saving his wall kicks will work for the last of the bunch here. Kind of an interesting star order. I definitely prefer the penguin wall kicks slide skip order.
I usually do wall kicks first, just because, you know, I'm normal, and then I don't know. I actually mix it up. There are some levels where I mix up my star order. CCM is one of them. Womps is definitely one of them, but it's very, very intentional. Womps, I mix up the order based on what I feel least comfortable on that day. I always go for that first in case I need to reset. And then Lethal Lava Land is a little bit sensical, but also just kind of crazy, where I just do whatever star I feel like.
I can definitely see that. For races, I think the penguin first makes a lot more sense. Just because if you do happen to miss wall kicks will work, you don't have to see the text box a second time. But for PB attempts, it's definitely nice to get that out of the way if you're just going to reset on a fail. Yeah, that backup is
you mean like dying on wall kicks will work?
Yeah, because there's that text box at the start of the level on the very first star, but if you do penguin first, you don't see that text box a second time should you die on wall kicks.
Yeah, see, I'm more likely to die on penguin and on slipslide no way.
Really? That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. Every now and then I'll either I will go too far to the right with the penguin when going off that ramp, or every now and then I'll go too far left and I'll bonk and die. But I also do the super beginner movement on wall kicks will work. It's like completely 100% free.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
m0m0 misses the arc though. This race just got thrown into 12th gear. Oh man. Okay, let's see if m0m0 knows his backup here. If he does, he's going to grab his 100 coin star, hightail it out of there, and grab reds, which you almost never see. You never see in 70 star.
Well, he might have to do reds in order to get the 100 coin star. Well, I mean, he's going to have to get...
Oh, yeah, Commentator just completely spacing out and forgetting that the 100 coin star not spawning in the cabin is the problem in this situation.
Well, no. It's literally that you can't just grab that 100 coin star and go for whatever you want because he missed so many coins that he has to get another backup red. So it's like it might be one of those things where his hand is forced.
Yeah, he should be going for reds right now. Let's see if he does.
Looks like he's just going to do that race again.
Oh, boy.
Probably just do whatever makes him most comfortable. I don't know how much, like, for example,
I mean, it's a backup, but if you do the reds backup optimally, I believe it only loses 20 seconds, as opposed to losing nearly a minute to the penguin race a second time.
No, like, that's true. For m0m0, for example, I would always recommend that because m0m0 routinely runs 120 star. But for somebody who's not used to doing CCM reds, maybe just eat the time loss and just go for an easier star. But
it's something that you definitely should, I feel like should practice for races, like
for sure.
in the event of this situation, especially if you're not going to go for the safety red.
It is conceivable, honestly, that you should just do CCM 17 and just do HMC early. Give up the second if you're not comfortable with the backups or with double pillarless. That seems like actually a very reasonable position for races.
I mean, yeah, the SL Reds would definitely be faster than this, although you would have to pick up another star as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that is
it would be a little bit weird because of that, but...
SL Reds and also Toxic Maze probably for HMC.
Yeah.
THI Reds technically faster, but THI Reds is not a star that you want to be doing in a race if you don't practice it pretty routine.
No, not at all. And so now moving into BBH, rather than m0m0 being a star ahead, he's now just barely behind. So let's see how exactly this ends up going here. You know, that's a really good question, Vox, because, I mean, Bowser says that, like, he stole all the stars and gave them to all his henchmen and stuff, but, like, that penguin seems really friendly. I think that penguin is just playing both sides.
Yeah, Penguin, kind of a bit of a centrist, kind of very, very middling, does not want to commit. Kind of like a good commentator, very unbiased.
I mean, I kind of feel like he's just a bit selfish. You know, he's got this star from Bowser that Bowser probably told him, don't give it to the Red Hat Man. And the penguin's just like, if you race me, I'll give it to you. Like the penguin just really loves racing. And so he's just going to exploit power over Mario to get a free race out of him.
Sorry, he reminds me of, like, there was a guy in my, like, 3rd or 4th grade class or something. He was only there for 1 year, but that was literally him, was that all he cared about was, like, every day at recess, he was like, yo, you want to race? And I was like, wait, is that, like, a thing? And I feel like that guy is in, like, every class to some extent. Like, there's that one competition that he's always like, yo, you wanna play Pokemon cards? And you're like, I don't have any. I sold them to my cousin like 3 years ago. Stop.
Yeah, Koopa the Quick doesn't even seem very evil, and he's got 2 stars. Bowser really trusted him, and that was a mistake. Pete with a nice dive mips grab.
Yeah, I feel like Bowser really doesn't have the best taste in advisors. He has quite the authoritarian spin, but seems to just make the wrong decisions for actually maintaining his power. Surrounds himself with some very, very incompetent people. Hey,
and plus, like, look at all the stars that are just left willy-nilly around the stages. Like, he's definitely very sloppy at cleaning up the power stars. But
for sure.
Enough with that. We're moving into plus attempts. m0m0 has to throw away his first bomb while Pete gets the first try. Very nice. Pete just further solidifying his lead. The rabbit hides his star
yeah.
in the same pocket that Courage the Cowardly Dog gets all of his items out of. Every animal in a cartoon form has that infinite pocket. That's just how it works.
Yeah, but Pete with the pillarless equivalent of a hole-in-one, and you know exactly what I'm going to say. Get yourself a hole-in-one, playing Golf Clash through the Onyx.tv app.
And
Or
m0m0 with the nice eagle here, assuming that Plus is on a par 4 course.
For sure. And if you're on a par 4 course, maybe, you know, can't get a hole-in-one, still content for that eagle, pull a D whatever, and land yourself in the green. Pete gonna be cleaning up here with the shining atop the pyramid.
As m0m0 goes ahead and punches Klepto in the face, grab his star. I think it's really unfortunate that once you hit Klepto, if he's over quicksand, he doesn't fall in. That'd be the most just poetic thing ever.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Pete doing, in my opinion, while this is probably the slowest, easiest star in the game.
I can definitely agree with that. I've never really thought of it that way, but for sure. I mean, there's a little bit to unpack there, but overall, like it's one that you can get very consistent very quickly, especially with the long jump movement.
For sure. But also, like, running 16 star, you get extremely consistent with the star. It seems like one of those things where the only reason you would mess it up is that you're just not used to the input.
And Drogi is back. Go ahead and unpause the VOD. Don't let him know that we skipped ahead a little bit. Just go ahead and back up to BOB.
Yeah, indeed. Actually, one thing you may not know about this league is that winners of their races for the day get access to the replay timer. So for pre-recorded matches, they are able to pause and start the race, and actually pause and start the commentary as well. So if everything freezes up and you stop hearing from us, blame Drogi. Honestly, he probably is responsible. m0m0 going to be cleaning up some bullies here. And Pete going to be following right behind him.
Yeah, Volcano Star is coming up. Let's see how these go.
Oh! He doesn't quite get the triple snipe. Did he even touch that bully? It seems like that bully just, like, cast a blink spell or something to, like, land in the lava, because I did not see him actually make contact. Triple kill.
Very, very nice.
Those little bullies. Yeah, beautiful.
That can be a little bit hard to get. And so now Pete heading into the volcano. Let's see how his lava boost attempt goes. Not able to get the second long jump for that fastest possible movement, but a nice backup. He's going for the triple jump. Oh, he got burned twice on the left side. And so with that, what's he going to do? He's just going to head up the volcano, it looks like. Pretty major time loss. Let's see how m0m0 compensates. Long jump boost. See, for all the people who claim that triple jump boost is free, just rewatch that section from Pete.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I don't like that, because I have a long-standing debate going on with J-Mill that triple jump lava boost is easier than long jump lava boost. And examples like this just don't help my case.
See, I am definitely on the negative side of that. I think long jump boost is definitely easier. The triple jump setup is just very awkward. And although the long jump can be a little bit more finicky, with enough practice, you can get it very, very consistent still. And of course, it's faster.
Yeah, you lost me at practice. But Pete, meanwhile, going for this elevator boost here, picks it up. Doesn't even need that intermediate platform.
And so with that lava boost fail, m0m0 now in a nice little lead. The driver's seat just must be very, very slippery with how many times these guys have exchanged its position. Pete getting hung up on that corner just a little bit.
Yes, indeed. And if you're a fan of switching drivers after your very second Golf Clash game, you will get access to the Rocket Driver, which does boost your stats, and you'll be getting points toward a free sub on the way.
Commentator just can't get enough of shouting out Onyx, and how could he? With 500 Onyx, you can get a free sub to your favorite Twitch stream, which, as we all know, has to be the only one with 24/7 variety content. He just cut that a little bit too close. Honestly, with some of the chest openings I've seen, I was kind of surprised that didn't open, but oh well. Pete, though, making up a little bit of time with that chest fail. And, you know, now that we're in DDD, we can go ahead and continue that discussion of RNG that we had in WOMPs earlier.
Yeah, so, I mean, is anything truly random?
Well,
at the end of the day, we're kind of, like, devolving down into, like, a severe form of chaos theory where, like, it's just everything is a series of, like, subatomic processes, right?
Well, speaking of like true randomness, there are potential ways to get what is effectively random, at least according to current human knowledge. Random.org, I believe, uses monitoring of specific atmospheric patterns that we don't currently understand what function could possibly govern them. And by using that as a seed, it's effectively random.
Yeah, basically determining, like, this is also a principle in, what's it called? In indeterminate music, as well as what's called aleatoric music, which literally means chance-operated music, where composers will create operations that people have to go into aspects of life that are beyond our control in order to determine certain musical parameters. So like it's kind of like, even whether or not anything is truly random, for all human purposes, it's like we can look at things that we have no control or understanding of, as m0m0 does get trolled. No, does not get trolled. I just didn't see the 2. Never mind.
Yeah.
And Pete also, I got trolled by not seeing the 4.
Yeah, it looks like Pete missed his very first ring, but the first 6 rings have pretty normal hitboxes, so it's not too bad.
I just like to point out for the record, I am not getting I'm not getting anything like specific or incentivized from Onyx to make these make these statements. I just have a lot of fun like finding random places to shout out Onyx. And unironically, like though, I do always appreciate sponsors to our community. And
m0m0 and Fireseat barely snagging that elevator red. Sorry to interrupt you. I just think about that.
Yeah, and m0m0 getting a very cute little pole grab there with a jump dive to get the right angle.
So it looks like Pete is going to be able to make lava boost here. And meanwhile, m0m0 going to be getting early LEs at least.
There we go. All right. Oh, no, that was so close.
Oh, Pete missed the wall kick there. That probably would have put him, if not in the lead, would have put him very close to it. m0m0 with the kick, just barely snagging that 7th red over the fire. This has been a very, very interesting ending to the Fire Sea.
Yes, indeed. Chat asking if commentators get paid. Technically, commentators are part of the Screen Actors Guild, as we are on screen and operating with a screen. So we get union dues. We're jumping into this.
Our payment is the satisfaction that we get from commentating these races and seeing these things firsthand live with y'all. And being able to have our reactions publicly posted live.
But of course, such is the case with literally everyone who works at the GSA. All of the revenue here goes into continuing to develop competitive speedrunning. And it's a really cool thing that it's just kind of right now the goal of the organization just to build speedrunning as a competitive sport, as an esport really, and to join it into the regular world of competitive entertainment. So definitely shout outs to everyone behind the scenes doing all the work. Milo, our restreamer for the day, absolute boss. And you know, some days you get Steve O'Broil as well, and he is also a champion. But there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. And Onyx.tv, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we now got m0m0 going into 100 coin. Pete's
Already
going to be
missing
opting
the
for a
coin.
slightly different Wet Dry World Star order. Yeah, he's already missed his safety coin. And he's also gotten a kind of bad spider RNG pattern here. Falls off.
Oh.
He should still have time to collect
Yeah,
all
he's
these
got time.
blues.
He's
Yep,
got
there he
time.
goes. Also, shoutouts to Danu5 for the 110 bits. Thank you so much.
Shout outs to Subway for the extra 10.
Yep. Gotta shout out September. Brand new subs will be $2.50 all month, and you can upgrade an existing sub for $2.50. And if I'm understanding correctly, it will extend for a whole month from when you do that upgrade.
Yes, exactly. And if you are gifted a sub, you can opt to continue that sub during September. Also, for only $2.50 or €2.50 if you live in the greater Europe continent. Or I guess in the Schengen, technically, because other places don't use the euro. So if you live in Switzerland, I don't know what you're going to pay, but hey. m0m0 going to be cleaning up this 100 coin, and Pete headed up here toward the top of the town star.
Very, very clean.
Strictly speaking, not the top of the town, but the highest star in the town. That little ring pipe type thing that you can like launch through the cannon to, that would probably be the highest that you can be if you were on top of that tunnel. But there is no star there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I wonder what exactly this star would look like if the star were positioned on top of that tunnel. Probably just the same opening movement, and then instead of like going towards the camera or to the right, depending on what your cam is, you just go the opposite way right when you get up there. Now, Pete can't miss both of these coins, so he's gonna have to take quite a detour to come back for him.
Yeah, that's some bad RNG. Chat asking, when do they deliver the subs? I'm hungry. I just like to state for the record, I made a joke a couple months ago or like a month ago about how subs are not Subway sandwiches but subscriptions, and that Onyx won't send you free Subway sandwiches. And then Twitch got sponsored by Subway, so I'm not saying I'm totally Nostradamus, but like I'm the equivalent of one of those quack psychics that like gives you like a really vague prediction and then it somewhat comes true.
Yeah, I mean, you put enough noise in the data, it'll say pretty much anything.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna be chucking this chuck, yeah.
All right. Pete finishing up pretty strongly on 100 coin, as m0m0's going to be working his way right on out of Wet Dry World. Heading over to the worst stage in the game by far.
No, he's not in TTM yet. But Tiny Huge Island coming up, and m0m0 going to be opting for these sequences.
Did I really say TTM? I am so sorry, TTM. You are not the worst stage in the game. This is the worst stage in the game.
No, that was all me. You were saying going into the worst stage in the game, and I was pretending it was TTM.
Oh, okay. I just didn't want to insult TTM that way. I mean, it doesn't deserve that with how bad THI is. Oh, Pete with the really unfortunate low dive there. Not quite able to make his way up the platform. At least he didn't take a burn that would have wasted even more time.
And Pete going to be finishing up these secrets. And very not far behind his opponent. Interesting use of the English language. Commentator really showing his mastery of what is clearly his second language. As m0m0 going to be cleaning up the island box. I'm not sure what to call that. Top of the island, I think is the name of the star.
Say 3 good things about TTM. Mountain Clip makes the upper stars a lot faster and a lot more fun ultimately. Breezeless is cool, even though it's stupid hard. And of course, there's a really nice alt strat that only loses 2 seconds. And Reds is really, really hype. I could keep going if you want. That's just 3, and that's all you asked for.
Say 3 good things about TTM. It's only, you don't have to do every star in it. Hopefully it'll be over soon enough. And Reds is kind of cool.
Hey, I already used that one. You can't do that. Oh, you don't have to open the cannon for a star that very obviously is supposed to require it.
Wait, which one? Oh, Blasted Lonely Mushroom?
Yep.
I'm so confused about that because I find it impossible to use the cannon for the mushroom. But maybe I just couldn't find it? I'm not sure.
Oh, like you don't know where the cannon is? Or like you just...
I know where the cannon is, but like, well, I don't know where the cannon is anymore. But I remember that when I went to the cannon and tried to blast to the Lonely Mushroom, I found that I was blasting a very lonely Mario. He was very lonely falling into a lonely abyss.
I mean, yeah, it's a very, very hard cannon shot. Like, honestly, the box strat is way easier than that cannon shot would ever be.
Kind of nuts. Kind of like shocking arrow lifts, where it's just like, oh, hey, there's a magical teleport here. Why don't you just use that?
Yeah, based Arceus has the right idea about THI. Like it sounds so cool when you're like, you can do the same stage, but you're in 2 different sizes. But then when you actually play the stage, it's just... Well, it's like if the maze at the end of TTM Reds were an entire stage. That's THI. Like, Reds is cool, but that maze is just... Ugh. Like go into that maze and see up and just, like, look at some of the geometry. It's just disgusting.
Listen, co-commentator clearly has a beef here. Definitely not gonna judge. Commentator certainly has his own biases against certain stages. Doesn't get the hype around the Snowman's Head Star. Quite frankly, finds it annoying.
And speaking of these Reds, m0m0 matching Pete's pretty clean execution on them.
Very nice lag
Pete
protection
not
there.
getting the mountain clip, sliding right back down.
And a nice, clean box onto the mushroom. That box blast, there was a time, like last week and the week before that box was real shaky. And it was around the same time I was having trouble with it too in my runs, so it's good to see that we as a community have braved that hump.
Yeah, it can be a tad finicky, but like overall it's very consistent, especially if you're able to do it from the opening movement instead of having to do that as a backup.
True. And we're getting Pete picking up that jump dive, and m0m0 gonna be finishing off this Breeze Star, saying see ya to the chuck ya. Not gonna be ruining any runs today. m0m0 headed here into Snowman's Land, or as I call it, Stupid Land. Got him.
Quality jokes. Ah!
Just absolutely destroyed. I mean, SL's career will never recover.
Okay, now,
what is
going for kind of an interesting, more beginner setup for Roll Over the Freezing Pond. As Pete tries for Breezeless, but doesn't even get the fence clip, unfortunately.
Yeah. m0m0 headed here into the deep freeze.
Pete gets right on top of the snowman's head. Pretty clean.
Pretty clean. And Pete with 49 stars. And that could be a foreshadowing of the time that one of these players is about to get. Could be. Looks like these players
TTMs were
fairly
very
decent
clean,
days.
so...
Yeah, very clean TTMs, not too crazy starts to the run, and a very close race overall so far, which typically indicates that few mistakes have been made. Because obviously, like, the more chaotic a race is, the more likely there's that gap in between, but when players don't make that many mistakes, they tend to be closer in time.
So now We've got m0m0 about to be heading down into HMC. Pete follows the bully into the chilly water. Fun fact, that water is literally just retextured lava. I believe there's something else applied to make sure that Mario doesn't have smoke behind him as if he got burned. So now m0m0 working his way right on out of there. Pete going back for one more star. It's a quick one though.
The question is that blue fire or really hot ice?
Oh, Pete can't get on top of this deep freeze for whatever reason. The ice cube just too slippery.
Yeah, that star is not easy. I will never consider that star easy. I think there are long streaks where I don't have problems with it, but that's a difficult star for the shortest star in the game.
Oh yeah. If you don't get it first try, backing it up is very, very strange. It's ice so cold it hurts. So dry ice. Okay.
Yeah. Like I was about to say liquid nitrogen, but dry ice is nitrogen, right?
Carbon.
Carbon, right.
Okay, so m0m0. Oh, misses the box triple. That's okay. Didn't break the box. I have an interesting way to try for the backup here that it works for him. Boat van? I have no idea. I kind of wish I knew.
We got it a little bit at the beginning, and seems like the Stargate ladders were not quite so strong coming out. Yeah, it is getting pretty late, nearly 7 p.m. You know, I know it's past my bedtime, so.
Yeah, it must be at least a decent bit late over in Germany. So especially maybe some of his viewers are out in the clubs.
I forgot that m0m0 is
in bed.
Yeah, m0m0 is indeed in Europe, and it is 12:45 in the morning here.
It's almost 1. Yeah, that could certainly be it. m0m0 goes in for Rollin' Rock now. Oh, misses the wall kick. That's kind of interesting. I thought that angle would be good, but must have just been right on the verge.
So yeah, it looks like m0m0 repping a sizable lead over his opponent, a full star. It actually is one of the bigger leads that we've had so far in this race. Pete going to be going.
Although the stars
Rolling Rocks
doing right now are pretty quick overall, so.
Yeah, true.
m0m0 with the instant dive. I think he always goes for that, and he always gets Christmas Miracle too, which I never quite understand.
And Pete going to be finishing up here with, I believe, amazing emergency exit. Oh, no, actually doing Christmas Miracle. Never mind.
Yeah, both of them saving Christmas Miracle for last.
Commentator suffering from short-term memory loss. And Pete going to be finishing up this Hazy Maze Cave. And m0m0 in the driver's seat in this little caddy, hopping here into Rainbow Ride.
All right, let's see how his Lakitu bounce goes. He's got that positioning. Oh, slides right off. I think he just hit A little bit too early. He should have had the room.
Hardest part of the game. Hardest part of the game.
Yep. Does manage to get the double side flip though.
And gets that red coin, which is seems to be like another hard part of the game, which is like that red coin. I think that's the first time I've seen someone successfully get that red coin. Little hop up, and Pete looks like is having a cleaner attempt. Can he pick it up? Ooh. Wow, gets the 3 jump despite sliding down a little on the second slide. to go for the ledge grab strat. Nice and safe. Going to pick up that star.
Very nice as m0m0 has to go in. One more try. He got the bounce. Oh, didn't get the wall kick this time. Very interesting.
And Pete with a little Tony Hawk before that star.
m0m0 with that rollout over the flame. That strat is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't mess with that. I do like a short hop into another short hop and a kick into another short hop into hoping that I can make it in time before those triangles expire.
Okay, so now Pete finally getting up there for Reds. Had a little bit of an issue with his entry. He had the positioning right, but again, pressing A is hard. He wasn't quite able to manage it. Now m0m0 is able to get his jump after bouncing off the Lakitu this time. Getting glitchy pole grabs despite looked like kind of trying to move up a little bit further. He managed to get right up on the platform. Nice.
Question in the chat. No cheese today. Actually, yeah, there is cheese today. I am currently enjoying some olives and feta. Probably going to be hitting the Abbey cheese, or the benefits of living in Western Europe. Pete going to be cleaning up these tricky triangles.
And the serious answer to that question is this is our Division 2 league that has their matches today. So the very, very top level players like Puncation, D whatever, Paracusia, Cheese, Ouija, those will all be tomorrow.
Meanwhile, m0m0 finishes up swinging in for Breeze, and Pete going to be going for it himself. Oh, interesting Mario Cam. Gets it while still on fire.
Yeah, I think that was him trying to like make the positioning for that long jump to the platform a bit easier, but yeah, that I didn't realize that you could actually manage to catch the star with the burning jump. Okay, TTC 100. These guys are still pretty close together. One major mistake from m0m0 on TTC 100 could easily make the difference here. Now, it's worth mentioning.
Had to reset that double jump, but manages to pick it up and gets the
and still getting the triple right after. Wow, nice backup.
Very, very good choice to set that jump up again.
But m0m0 did grab Toad early, so he's a little bit further ahead than his current position would let on. But it's also not giving Pete any room to catch up on this 100 coin either. Just blaring through right now.
And TTC 100 is the best place, is the most likely place to lose time in TikTok clock. There's still plenty of run to go. m0m0 is far from safe, but getting through this star is absolutely such a big mentality booster.
Oh,
m0m0 goes right off the edge. He's gonna get flipped.
Yeah, he's gonna get flipped over. Okay, so he's sitting at half health, about halfway up the clock. No matter though, he can get up on top of the thwomp still pretty quickly.
Yeah, but
plus, keep in mind, he doesn't need to grab that box off the metal grate again, so his ending is going to be fairly straightforward.
Yeah. But holy moly.
Pete falling off instead of getting on top of the thwomp there. And m0m0 is now on top of this platform area, at least.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it's probably like pretty close to even. I think m0m0 was like a tiny bit ahead because of that movement mess up from Pete. And now m0m0's having trouble of his own. And it looks like Pete's taking the lead here. Oh no.
Oh, that save wall kick. Wow.
Very, very beautiful wall kick. So many opportunities for that kind of stuff as well. When you overshoot something or you miss like a specific wall kick, you can always like hop back up with like a backup wall jump. And that's really cool about TTC specifically. But yeah, Pete definitely taking the lead in TTC. Not sure if he's a full Toad star ahead, so that is going to determine whether or not Pete actually has the lead in this race. But it is neck and neck.
Oh yeah, very, very close race. Both of them sitting at 66 stars. m0m0 just that Stargate cutscene ahead at the moment. It's a situation like this where TTC is just a very unique level of stressful.
Commentator making the mistake of trying to follow math talk in chat. But Pete gonna roll into the cage himself and pick up the star. Their star orders are a little bit out of whack. Pete did do the get a hand star first, so any kind of advantage Pete seems to have, don't pay too much attention to it because their star orders are misaligned at the moment. But now m0m0 has that get a hand star, so things will be making a little more sense. Get a hand is the shortest star in the level, so going for it first can oftentimes make you seem more ahead than you actually are.
Yeah, it's not too much different from, like, say, roll into the cage, but does still make a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, mainly with the triple jump wall kick movement. Triple jump wall kick saves far more time on get a hand than with any of the other stars, because you have that double long jump strat that you can only do with the triple jump wall kick.
Yeah. And man, that strat is sick. I wish that the triple jump wall kick were a little bit easier or just more consistent to do generally. I mean, of course, these top level runners have it very consistent, but
For sure,
it's one that requires pretty in-depth knowledge of the game in order to get every single time. But that
exactly.
get a hand movement with it is so satisfying, and the movement on the other side of the stage is just so unsatisfying.
Yeah, so it does look like Pete is pretty properly solidly in the lead here. m0m0 still has to deal with this red coin star cutscene. Meanwhile, Pete is picking up his own star right here. Or actually, no, because he also has to do the save menu, right? So definitely ahead. And yeah, so Pete gonna be headed here into Bowser in the Sky. m0m0 hot on his heels. How close is this race? TBA.
It's a pretty close one right now. Pete having a little bit of an issue on the slope here. And triple jump dives, both good.
Yeah, both good, both safe. Pete's a little bit safer, but both of them also going for safe cycles on the Ferris.
Pete a little bit ahead at the moment, but wood block movement can be the big difference here. Pete just opting for the safest standard wood block movement. m0m0 over jumping somehow. I'm not even quite sure how that happened. I don't think I've ever seen it fail that way.
And I feel like we watched a lot of difficult strats gaining time, especially in the case of Drogi today, in the case of time. And this was like one of the first times that I properly saw someone go for a safe strat, and holy moly, did it pay off. Because m0m0 went for that triple jump wall kick, fell down. Pete went for the pole grab, did not fall.
But now Pete misses his first throw. It is a throw apart at this point. If Pete misses another throw, m0m0 could very easily snag this win.
Absolutely.
Very easy first throw, or rather second throw, first hit from Pete. Laser focus on that one. He just needs to get this one final throw, and he will close out this match as the victor. And
he gets
good.
It. Oh my gosh.
That was close.
And Pete is going to take the race. Commentator forgetting what exactly the name of this thing is. And m0m0 misses a throw.
Oh man, I think he thought that there was a bomb in that middle section. I'm not quite sure what that miss was. Bowser landing on the very edge of the star. That's just terrible.
Oh no! He was
good. Oh no!
So what m0m0 was trying to do there was he was trying to take physical damage from Bowser in order to make Mario invincible. This is something that you do in HMC to pick up loot points from a very difficult to get eyeball. So what he was trying to do was make himself invincible so that he could run through Bowser and grab his tail. But what Bowser did was he preempted that and just spouted fire and set Mario on fire and sent him flying off the edge. Just absolutely heartbreaking for m0m0.
Yeah, I mean, missing throws is one thing, but dying in the fight is just a whole other level of pain.
Just unbelievable, and barely gets it, and m0m0 a little bit flustered there. Had the opportunity to get 29 points. Gonna have to settle for what looks like about, just quickly doing the math in my head. Looks like he's gonna get about 23
points.
23, yeah.
So not a bad outcome, honestly. But I mean, with how close they were, that's an unfortunate way to make the race a little bit further apart. But with that, that'll do it for the 70-star action for today. GG's to Pete and m0m0. Pete with a 52-12, m0m0 53-19. Really nice, solid runs from both of these guys. But don't go anywhere yet, folks, because we still got more speedrun action coming right at you. Coming up next, Noble Esports' own TGH versus Flare Bear in Celeste Any Percent. If you haven't seen a run of Celeste yet, I highly encourage you to stick around and watch for just 15 minutes or so. I guarantee you're going to get absolutely hooked. It's probably the most beautiful 2D speed game, or at least has the most beautiful movement in any 2D speed game I've seen. It's very fluid, extremely fast, and everything about the game is just aesthetically beautiful. So if you haven't seen it before, definitely check it out.
I've never seen a game.
Oh, my bad. That's actually going to be Aurora Dash versus Black Pair. It looks like there was an issue on the schedule. So apologies for that, but that'll be Aurora Dash versus Black Pair.
Shout out to Milo for cleaning that up. And or clearing that up rather. But yeah, definitely. I've never seen a game with a more incredibly like smooth and high skill curve that constantly gets better and better and better the better players get. But that's enough for us. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around for Celeste, and we will see you guys later.
Yep. Peace out, guys.